time, chat.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Sea Raptors of all ages, welcome to the International Finals Day 3, the playoff bracket. This is the lower bracket, ELSR, NA team number 1 versus TSUKI, Asia team number 2. Single elimination for these two in a best of 3. Raptor, can you talk to us about the TSUKI lineup, sir?
Show thing, boss man. TSUKI spawning here in the green on the north side of north here. Bringing a Kremlin for 1 battleship. That's TSUKI's starting party. And a St. Vincent. That's, oh, this is going to mess me up, just like last week, Zath. That Schlachtschiff H-45 headed over here towards the 9-10 line. We'll have a look at what's going on towards this this other flank, this eastern flank. Haruka's Salem and Shikishima's Des Moines headed over this way. We've got Munon's Daring and CVN 18's Delny hard diving the Sea Cap. Have a look, people going to the A flank. You've got Emilia's Harugamo, Sora's Yu Yang. This is indeed a radar Yu Yang. We've seen both variants over the course of the event. But this particular variant is a radar Yang, and Leader 1's Brisbane. Talk to me about the ELSR lineup, Zath. What do we got going on at the bottom of the map?
All right, facing them is ELSR to the south. We already have some contact. Brisbane, no, I think that was the Vermont.
That's a Vermont salvo on the opposing Kremlin.
Who's broadside
Starry looks like
right
he might actually take. That wasn't nearly as bad as it could have been.
Yep, interesting. Look at all that hit point pool on that Kremlin. 108,000. Any case. Looking over ELSR lineup, heading towards Alpha, we've got our Harugamo, we've got our Brisbane, we've got our Des Moines. Now, this Des Moines is not unique upgrade. That's Steven's Des Moines. He's actually range upgrade.
No, he's range upgrade, yeah.
Meanwhile, 8952's Vermont, as usual. We're just taking a look at the builds here. Nothing special to report right now. Don't forget, Ragnar and Kleber were banned. Hutao's Mosfa is helping at the B cap while Luger tries to back in. We've got our first radar over at A. Sora detected. Let's take a look at that. We'll continue to line up in a moment. As all the shells are starting to come into Sora's Yu Yang, he panics, dumps all the torpedoes, and just runs away.
Yeah, using that torpedo reload booster early. I kind of like that play, Zap. Ooh, Sora taking a big hit there.
Yeah, that was the Vermont salvo.
The Yang torpedo reload booster has really changed how that ship has impacted competitive play, right? Like radar Yang was always a little bit of a thing before, but now it's a much bigger deal because that torpedo reload booster gives that ship a lot bigger impact.
Do you recall, Raptor, that game we cast SCCC versus Treta, Game 3? All the torpedoes coming through. That was the Wooster that sat in smoke. Masuka Rin taking a deep water torp there.
Well, and he's in a bit of trouble too.
Yeah, that forced out the DCP. If he takes another torpedo and it floods, that will indeed stick. And now he's detected on radar from Aggro Leaders Brisbane.
Yeah, but nobody there to take advantage of it. Starry Party's Kremlin is the only one who might, and the island, this giant island here along the 3 line is going to prevent that shot.
So while all this has been happening, Luger's Daring has backed into the B cap. He's in actually a very exposed position. He's expecting to see the Des Moines at the top of that island, but if you look, that Des Moines has actually been moved back to C cap to ensure they grab and hold C cap. As we've got Quincy's Harugamo. We've got Apex's Caesar, that's the Des Moines, and Goti Tori's Kremlin, all making their way up the 910 line. That Kremlin running unique upgrade. And
Quincy's timed this passage very well. The torpedoes from the Delny are going to cross in front of him harmlessly.
That's right. Now, we missed a moment ago as Emilia Cinco's Harugumo took a torpedo all the way off at the A line. Still alive. Just activates his adrenaline rush.
Yeah, it doesn't. I look at what TSUKI's brought to the party at A, Zath, versus what ELSR has at the party at A. I really have to favor ELSR right now in this matchup.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, that kind of makes sense, right? If you look at the way the map is set up, TSUKI was able to get a quick cap of C, and now they're positioned to hold it. But look at this Des Moines. Is he going through the channel? No, he stopped. He stopped. Okay.
Buster's adroitly dodging some torpedoes there. Munon's daring caught out on radar briefly. Actually, Shikishima's Des Moines is coming into the channel, Zath.
Yeah, I see that now.
I'm wondering, I guess he just wants to set up on this side of the cap. Now that they know the Kremlin is basically over there on the 9 line, nobody really is going to have flanking shots on Shikishima in this position. 5 minutes in, about an 80-point lead here for TSUKI on the strength of that early C-cap, the Delny charge, getting them an early points lead, but I don't know, Zath. I mean, I want to see how this ELSR push on the 9-10 lines shapes up before I start to kind of get a feel for this game.
Well, and that 9-10 party has begun as Quincy's Harugumo is detected on Salem's radar. He doesn't care. He's just going to sit there. It's 0v0 versus 0v0.
Yeah, we're going to see a clash of play styles over here, Zath, with the St. Vincent and the Kremlin, right? They're trying to burn out Haruka's Salem, but I mean, Salem, the reason you bring a Salem to this flank is specifically to kind of deny that play as the Kremlin salvo goes in on the St. Vincent now to little effect.
Yeah, the Salem, this is a war of attrition. We typically see on this, this is more, you know, kind of like that 300 style Spartan setup. Everybody just pushes together in that line.
Oh no, Buster's turning right in front of torpedoes in the bottom of the A-cap. He takes one.
Ooh, that's huge.
Not catastrophic damage.
He's on radar though at the same time.
He's on radar now. They just caught him. They know he took a torpedo in there.
He has
the
14 hit
radar
points.
Is also up.
14 hit points left on his torpedo launcher, Raptor. 14. Wow.
Oof.
One more sneeze there and they blow up.
Misakura's Brisbane is the one that's really caught out here, as the Harugumo tries to get some solid damage in. All the radar, all the shells going everywhere at the A-cap. Misakura popping that fancy heel and peeling out, as Stevens Des Moines back there still pleasantly ensconced in the smoke.
Yeah, Sora's got shells coming in on him now. And Little Buster's 4 no longer has torpedoes in that Harugumo. He's out.
Okay.
Dunsies.
So that module has been destroyed.
Correct.
Munon's daring moving up to try to start to flip the B-cap. Hutao's Moskva saying, absolutely none of that, sir. But they've pulled Luger's daring off the B-cap. Once this radar expires at B, I don't know how they're going to defend it.
It's, yeah, look at the Vermont. That he knows where that Des Moines is, and he's making his way over there. Munon takes another decent hit.
Well, and he's got a Vermont salvo falling in now.
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
More big hits on Munon.
All of that. He felt all of that as he drops to under 5,000 HP here in the early going. ELSR picking up the A-cap finally. That'll allow them to start to close this gap here.
Yeah.
But TSUKI putting up a couple of radars.
And let's take a look at the other side.
They're hammering Quincy on the 10 line.
Quincy is playing the border game for a minute there, just trying to get out of Dodge.
Yep. That British battleship HE making the double fire there coming in on the back of the Salem shells. He's going to get out of the radar, but it's not going to be enough to save his ship, I don't think, Zath. No,
that'll be it. That'll be it. You know, he's been playing very aggressively and I would say disrespecting the radar, and you see what happens.
Yeah. Yep. First blood going to TSUKI here, way over on the extreme edge of the map as we're getting close to the halfway point. That pushes them out to about a 150-point lead, as now Munon's daring is going to should be able to flip B. It's going to allow them to flip things around, but ELSR reacting here, pulling ships back over, and now the Vermont and the Kremlin in a bit of a duel in the C-cap.
Yeah, this is an interesting position for Starry Party's Kremlin because while it does give him some shots perhaps at that Des Moines position, he's kind of broadside to Bocce's Kremlin if he gets around. Nice hit there.
Solid pens.
So, yeah, he's kind of put himself in a position to just get shot at.
Yeah. ELSR down a cap and a ship now, but look how many TSUKI ships are under half HP, Zath.
Oh, they are hurting.
They just need to get vision on the right thing at the right time, and they're going to be right back in this game.
Yeah, I think Hutao is fixing to use his radar. The problem is that by the time he does, who's he going to see? Nobody. Well, he'll see Munon for moments.
He might be able to pick up Munan. He might be able to pick up Sora. He would absolutely have to move up to get shots on Sora, but Sora would be a better pick target at under 4,000 health that he can't regenerate.
Sora's outside his radar range. See, these
is he
guys
outside the range? Oh, he is. I see it now.
These guys are doing a fantastic job of respecting that radar range and saying, okay, because Hu Tao's spotted, or we at least the last known location, right? Let's stay 12 kilometers plus away. Very smart.
ELSR maybe about to lose their Kremlin over here on the 9 line as well. Bocchi under a tremendous amount of threat. He's still got DCPs available, but his next heal is quite a bit ways off.
Well, the loss of Quincy means that TSUKI can push on this flank, right? There's no torpedoes to hold them in position. You can see Apex now trying to come around, but the Salem is right there to prevent him from trying to get anything happening in Schlagstift's St. Vincent.
Yeah, Apex not able to... Well, he's trying. He looks like he's maybe grinding on the island. Yeah, he's trying anyway, I think. As now, TSUKI not sitting idle. ELSR pulling ships back off the A cap. TSUKI trying to get in there and pick that cap up now. 9 minutes to play. We're over a 240-point lead now for TSUKI. ELSR looking to make something happen here, and it could still happen. I mean, they could still find a way. Bocchi's got torpedoes coming in. Oh, I think he's going out. Has he found a gap? Nope. One in the bow.
One in the bow. I was looking over at A. Brisbane radar popped and caught the smoke snail over there. There he goes.
ELSR losing the Kremlin now on the 9 line. Hu Tao and Luger moving up to work the B cap. Hu Tao in a very aggressive position here, trying to threaten this Des Moines flank.
Well, at
Luger
this point,
caught under Des Moines radar.
Yeah, down 2 ships. You got to make something happen. Here's the St. Vincent salvo into Chikishima's face, and nothing. It just backs up behind the island.
Salvo. Yeah, that Vermont salvo into Shiki's face, not looking good. And so now Apex all alone here on the 10 line. This is essentially free points for ELSR, excuse me, for TSUKI, when they can move up and claim it. 90 seconds from a TSUKI win here in game 1. ELSR not out of this yet, but man, are they under a tremendous amount of pressure trying to find a way to a win.
Right.
It feels like TSUKI is like right on the edge of a knife, right? Like if you take out the right ship at the right moment, suddenly this little house of dominoes might collapse. But ELSR hasn't found a way to do that yet.
Well, TSUKI's done a fantastic job of rotating those assets farther back and farther away from trouble. I think one of the most pivotal parts is that Harugumo at A losing those torpedoes permanently. That just removes so much pressure. Speaking of pressure,
Apex
take a look at 10.
About to get assassinated. Yeah, Apex about to get assassinated here on the 10 line. Delany's going to go in his face, and knowing that's over, the Brisbane gets... Yep, doesn't even matter, though. On the other side of the map, the Brisbane gets lucky with a torpedo, and that is game 1, ladies and gentlemen. Wow.
Fantastic start to the day, as obviously both teams wanting to come off with this win. I'll tell you, Raptor, TSUKI seemed to just kind of overall play better. They did a nice job of rotating their hit points. They did a nice job of playing around radars. And let's be real, there's a little bit of luck involved too, right? Hitting that Harugumo torpedoes was impactful over at A. Those torpedo salvos hitting Rin's Brisbane at A as well, kind of tilted the odds in the favor of TSUKI over at A. But what a fight!
Yeah, but that's exactly it. One of the reasons that you bring those ships, those lineups to those big wide open flanks is to force those kinds of things to happen, right? If you dump enough torpedoes into an area, into a smoke cloud, sooner or later somebody won't have their hydro. That just the timing will work in your favor. The odds will eventually play out for you, and it worked for TSUKI here over at the A flank. But man, that 10 line fight was brutal as well. And I think you're right. I think Quincy got maybe a little too cheeky, and they made him pay for it.
Absolutely. Well, why don't we pass it back to the analyst desk and let them chew on this for a little bit?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Highlight game of the day? I can feel it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, worshippers of all ages, welcome here to Game 2 of ELSR and TSUKI in the International Playoff Bracket of King of the Sea 15. We're starting here on Sleeping Giant in the green. ELSR with Ragnar and Marseille on the ban list. Zath, what does ELSR bring into this game?
ELSR is bringing a Vermont along with a Montana. Pretty much your standard builds there. We've got a Moskva, Des Moines, and looks like that Harugumo heading over towards the A side. Going towards middle is Rin's Daring using Dazzle. Heading off to the C side, yeah, baby, is Luger's Gearing, Stevens Brizzy, and Quincy's Kleber. Quincy has shifted to a Kleber this time, Raptor. Note he is not using the unique upgrade.
He is not, plowing ahead quickly. Opposing them from the south spawn in the red, we have TSUKI sticking with Haruka's St. Vincent here. Headed over towards the A flank, backed up by Starry Party's Stalingrad. Using outnumbered there, I find that's interesting. CVN's Harugumo and Shikishima's Des Moines. Their middle destroyer, that's Munan. We're gonna have a little bit of dueling darings here at the B cap. Neither one of them with a tremendous amount of support nearby. Schlottschliff's Ohio headed over towards the C flank as Quincy Kleber steps onto that very cap. We've got a Yu Yang and Harugumo. That's Amelia and Sora in close quarters here. In fact, Quincy's actually lit now on the surface without even the radar needing to pick him up. That is a radar. Yu Yang is Sora. Are they going to be able to hit Quincy? They are going to get some resets on Quincy here, as now it looks as if, yep, Amelia's going to smoke up and use Sora to spot to keep Quincy off this cap. Anyway, they're backed up by Aguero's Brisbane. Really nice coordination here to keep ELSR off that early C cap, Zath.
Oh, I like it a lot. You can see Quincy is not taking the bait, thinking I'll shoot back at the Harugumo. Here comes the Montana salvo on that Haru. Nothing doing there.
Nope, nothing doing there.
But you're right, it does allow for TSUKI to basically grab C right now if they wanted to.
Well, it allows them to defend C, right? Which I think is unique. Now that Quincy's backed off a bit, he's taking some long-range shots at Amelia's Harugumo. I think it's interesting. Very, very frequently we have seen teams rush the one, usually the C cap on here on Sleeping Giant, but A cap on a map with one of these speedy destroyers, and we're seeing it here. But TSUKI coming up with a nice means of essentially defending against it.
I will say I do like how Steven held his position behind the island in that Brizzy, knowing that torpedoes were coming his way. The question is he going to feel safe now and hit W? If he does, well, you can see there's plenty more torpedoes coming for that smoke.
Well, he's still got his hydro up. Looks like he might be inching forward a hair.
The thing is, there's nothing at sea right now. Nothing's on the cap. So there's really no reason for him to move up. There's nothing that he's going to end up radaring, right? So he might as well just kind of sit there and wait. Meanwhile, ELSR does pick up the B cap with Rin's Daring.
Yeah, I made a comment earlier that turned out to not be true, Zath. We talked about the Darings being unsupported in B, but I missed Apex's Moskva turning back towards B, taking up this strong position here along the island on the northwestern edge. And so his radar hasn't even been utilized. Misakura able to pick up B, and with Apex's radar in that position, should be able to zone out the Daring there. Now Quincy took a torpedo. Way over here on the 9 line, Quincy's Kleber takes a torpedo in the smoke. That
hurts.
Yeah, it does. He already pushed off the C cap. Quincy definitely in a bit of trouble now, especially as visible as a non-unique upgrade Kleber tends to be.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I mean, so a Kleber that's not a unique upgrade, that's meant as a destroyer assassin, but they're using him more as a destroyer scout, or at least he's playing more like a scout, and that just doesn't work. Meanwhile, over on the A line, we've got a radar push catching out the smoke snail from ELSR.
Yeah, really nice maneuvering and push here by TSUKI, running the Harugumo up onto the edge of the cap, bringing the Des Moines with him, backed up by the St. Vincent. Stalingrad taking that kind of quote-unquote inside position here on the southeastern edge of the cap. They should have solid control of A for quite some time. I can't imagine that ELSR has the forces there to break back into that cap. So A and B sort of settling in. Seems like most of the early action going to be at C.
Yeah.
Radar going up now, looking for Sora's Yu Yang as a bit of cross torp
I love
coming
these
in
torps. I love these torps.
He's gonna eat
gonna
one.
take
Yeah, he's gonna
one,
get
yeah.
caught by one right on the stern.
And then here comes some more
Oh,
shells
big-
from Quincy.
Big hits
That's-
from Quincy, getting some revenge there.
That's why that's how you use a clay bear. There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. Sora taking a torpedo, then getting a whole bunch of his HP shaved off right away by Quincy. Catching
Yep.
a stern fire there. He's dark, but that stern fire is going to burn full duration, I think.
Oh, it's going to keep ticking for at least another 16 seconds. And here's the thing. He's turning back north, Raptor. He's turning back into the sea cap.
Yeah. Well, they know now that the Brisbane radar is offline, and there's no other radar on that flank. Now, they may not... they know where the Moskva is. They know where the Brisbane is because he was spotted. Yeah, they know now that there's nothing else out there to pick him up other than spotting him on the surface the old-fashioned way with your face.
Well, look at Rin moving in the daring. This is a very good decision there. He's basically knowing... I like this. At that win condition for ELSR. Also, look over at A. I'm looking at the mini-map. Stalingrad to
Whoa.
Thunderdome, Raptor.
Yeah, I wonder what star he's up to here. I think maybe he's trying to bring they brought the radar coverage in. They know the daring is not here now. Quincy's actually about to cross into this radar line. They'll have an idea of where he's at. Possibly.
Yep.
Quincy's going to ground himself in this turn.
All the torpedoes coming in on that death snail over at CCAP.
Yeah,
detects
Steven's
it, no
Hydro
problem.
is up. He should be able to dodge these pretty handily. Yep, no concerns. Hydro's got another minute and change to run. Yeah, I like bringing the daring over here. I think that's going to be a big swap, a big change for them. They've rotated Quincy back to sort of play defense at B.
Yep. Amelia's Hargumo detected by Rin now. There's the radar.
You have to wonder, Zath, if maybe... Oh, big hits from the Montana there, Zath.
Oh, yeah, he was waiting. They were all waiting for TSUKI to come back in. Look at even Quincy's Kleber getting in on this action again.
Yeah, and Luger taking a big hit in return from Schlachtschiff's Ohio. The battleships chiming in on these destroyer hits, Zath, have been really noticeable.
Oh, absolutely. But also noticeable, once again, TSUKI having two very low health ships. ELSR unable to get the kill. Now, Amelia's got two fires burning for another 10 seconds at the most. Oh, there's the... They burned out.
Yep. So, both TSUKI destroyers at sea essentially so beat up that they cannot risk getting caught by a radar. It's about a 60-point lead here or so for ELSR. 8 minutes gone. If they can pick up a kill, this could be really impactful.
Well, and then Munan now going back into the B cap. Radar up from Captain Caesar's Moskva.
Yep, that draws the radar out from Apex. They know where to look now. Apex radar just detecting Mulan. They're getting a little chip damage in. Most of the Moskva shots going downrange on Schlachtschiff's Ohio instead.
Yeah,
but now with the destroyer pane at sea, ELSR's gonna be able to pick this cap up.
Absolutely. Big hit there on Schlachtschiff's Ohio from 8952's Vermont. That was neat to see. He's going to be forced to back up. Caesar, I want to mention, I like that he did not pull forward to try to get that shot on Munan because that exposes so much more of his ship. Very smart to just hold position. Very good discipline there.
Bochi's Montana continuing to dunk destroyer Zath. He just took about another 6K off of Munan's daring there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, meanwhile, torpedoes coming in on the snail. They're okay. It's all just torpedo hell over at CCAP, Raptor.
The ELSR doing a really good job of trading health this game, Zath, it feels to me.
Oh, absolutely.
They're getting pushed hard up the 1-2 line, but everywhere else right now, it feels like they're, just like last game, they're right on the precipice of making a really impactful kill.
Mm-hmm.
They're fishing for Munan in the smoke, trying to get the resets.
I mean, why not?
Apex's Hydro is down, and now the Conga line torps are coming in.
Yep, they get a reset,
They do get the
though.
reset right there. Is Apex gonna eat these, Zath?
I mean, you have to know these torpedoes are coming.
Another reset.
You have to know these torpedoes are coming. He's backing up.
Oh, you have to know. Yep, he's reversing another blind salvo. Let's see if he catches it here.
He does.
He does. The blind resets from Apex right now are just a thing of beauty. Is now Quincy gets in on the action.
Yeah, because there's that French radar. You just get a couple hits and then boom, you just keep shooting at the explosions. You can battleship shells.
Just keep throwing enough shells, and eventually something will stick. They get more resets now.
Well, all right. So Munan knows he can't get out. He can't stay in the cap because the radar is going to come back up anyway soon enough. You got 18 seconds till the next radar, and when that happens, Munan's going to just be caught out.
Oh, speaking of caught out, Buster's Harugumo over here on the 1 line.
Oh, I see that now.
Oh, somebody's they need, if they are going to lose Buster's, and they need to make a trade here. They need to get CVN 18.
No, he hit the brakes.
Haven't gotten him yet.
Shells flew right by.
Hu Tao's radar's got 8 more seconds or so. There it is. There it is.
Great kill there. Good trade.
So that's a great trade for ELSR in the sense of at least they didn't lose the ship for free.
I also like, look at this Rin rotating again, Raptor, in that daring.
I love it.
Back to the middle of the map.
I love it. Suki's eventually going to have to make a risky play at sea, Zath, with one of these destroyers. In fact, you notice now Aguero's Brisbane is leading this charge up the 10 line, not the Harugumo. There goes the radar. So they know exactly where to look for both Luger and for Steven. Steven's radar is available. Both of those ships are in it. You have to wonder if they'll pop it just for info to see what happens.
Well, right now they seem focused on trying to push the Brizzy back.
They're trying to get Luger. They're trying to pick up this kill on Luger because here come the Ohio shells.
Oh yeah. All right, Luger's
dark. Not going
dark.
to get it. Yep, they're not going to get it. Look at the daring. Okay, they brought the daring torpedoes in for the St. Vincent, Zath.
Oh.
But you know who they're going to hit instead?
Munan.
Oh, Munan's going to just barely jet out of the way.
Round alert.
7.5 minutes to play. ELSR on about 150-ish point lead. It feels like Suki's starting to get a little desperation time here. Haruka St. Vincent driving into B.
Yeah, that's an absolute desperation play. As you can see, ELSR turning around all the way out on the other flank, and now they're starting to push back towards A, down the 2 line.
The Vermont on this flank has 2 things going for it. One, look at this broadside salvo he got on Haruka, shaving off about 15,000 HP.
Oh!
But now he's also able to bully the Shikishima's Des Moines. What?
Captain Caesar's Mosfet just took the St. Vincent funny torp in the bow.
No.
Feels bad.
Feels bad, Zath. Feels bad.
You will have a heal coming up soon.
Wow. Even the Montana AP into the bow of the St. Vincent is hurting. They punch out Apex. That's a big kill for Suki. They needed that badly.
Absolutely.
As Haruka now stepping onto the B cap.
Yeah, and Rin now opening up with shells just to keep fires going. Yep. This also feels a little desperate, but okay.
St. Vincent heal is 45 seconds away. They watched him just use it. They're going to punch him out, Zath. They're going to pick up this kill. Vermont salvo going in on Schlottschiff's Ohio. Getting a little bit of damage. There we go. There goes Haruka St. Vincent off the board. Suki just kind of pushing W here at B, hoping to make something happen.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. Where else can you get into this? They've tried so much at sea. They failed each time they've tried.
Yeah.
Even that crazy charge we just saw up the 9 line. So
yeah.
Quincy now detected by Sorzu Yang.
Yeah, I don't think, can they get shells on it? The Harugumo shells, yeah, well, maybe. Quincy's trying to get some hard cover. Looks like he's managed it.
Yeah, I think the big thing with that radar is just to make him feel less comfortable with the shots in the middle. As Stalingrad,
been in this
Starry Party hits.
Yeah, Quincy's been in this channel lurking for a while, and I think they've finally had enough of him. Between the Harugumo, the Ohio, Munan's Daring, and the Stalingrad shells, I think they want to just be rid of him.
Speaking of being rid of somebody, Shikishima Mother goes down, so that leaves the door wide open for Hu Tao to just walk into A and casually come right up on Starry Party's stern.
Yep, they're going to pick up A here as the daring torpedoes land on Schlottschiff's Ohio in center. Quincy goes out. He gets his last torpedo salvo into the water, but I think it's going to end up being for nothing. Sora's Yu Yang detected on 1,000 HP. Balchi's Montana getting a salvo off, as now Aguero's Brisbane into the sea cap, Zath.
Yeah, Schlagstiff trying to heal up now in that Ohio, doing so. More shells from the Ohio coming in on the Des Moines bow. Starry Party forced to go north. Oh, Hu Tao goes down.
Oh, Hu Tao eating it. Wow. The Ohio punches him out. 89-52's Vermont's now going to have to pick up the A-cap. 50-point game, 4 minutes to play. TSUKI just pushing W, Zath.
Absolutely. There goes Aguero's Brizzy at C-cap.
That locks up the C-cap. I won't say for good, but I just don't know how you push back in there with 2 destroyers on 1,000 HP.
You don't. You really don't.
Exactly. I mean, not with the Brisbane still lurking nearby.
Yep, Steven Shell's coming in on Sora's Yu Yang. They're just barely missing. Wow. Goto's Montana.
Starry
Look
Party's,
at all the torpedo hate coming for him.
Starry Party's Stalingrad continuing north. 89-52's Vermont sitting in A, waiting for this cap to finish. He's got his plane up, looking for a shot at Starry. There it goes. All three surviving TSUKI destroyers now, Zath, headed to sea.
There's the kill.
They
What a
punch out
kill.
the Stalin.
Great
Brilliant
shot.
salvo there, punching out the
Wait, we
Stalin.
need to do something.
Well, destroyer party at sea, everyone.
Radar coming up. TSUKI's last gasp at sea. There goes Sora. A few more shells, and they'll punch out Amelia.
Yeah, they know they're
Here
done.
those shells come. Yeah, they know this is over. It's a bit of a desperation, but they've got to try something.
You know what that means, Raptor.
And there it is. It means game 3, Zath.
Game 3, baby!
Means game 3, Zath. I gotta say, did you feel like there was any point at that game that ELSR was scrambling or not? Just like, we know exactly what to do next.
Only the end part, where all the chaos happened, and that's a testament to TSUKI, right? Recognizing, hey, we're gonna lose if we don't do something, so we need to make something happen. And they did. They all pushed W. Double battleship push into B. Stalingrad threatens, says, okay, fine, I'll just go forward. What are you gonna do about it, right? The funny torp on the Moskva bow, like the TSUKI did a great job of trying to pull this game back from defeat. They couldn't make it happen. ELSR was prepared for that push. They looked a lot stronger this game. I don't know. I think the big thing was Rin not being afraid to relocate with that daring and play, both caps, B and C, kind of like a little ping pong action. And same thing with Quincy, by the way. So, I mean, great gameplay by them.
The daring rotation was huge, and I think for me, the hero of the game is still Apex's Moskva. Yeah, he went down, but what an impact he had on this game. They spent so much time and energy to finally root him out of there. But by the time they did, ESR had a nice little solid lead. Well, let's throw it back to the studio and see what Boggsy and Guys you have to say about this one.
Sounds great. Let's do it.
Both. Oh, wow. What an interesting lineup.
It's Kraken time, Jet.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Game 3 International Finals. This is the lower bracket, ELSR, NA number 1 versus TSUKI, Asia number 2. It's do or die for both teams. Raptor, can you tell us a little bit about ELSR's lineup, sir?
Absolutely. Here in the green, spawning at the top end of Shatter is ELSR, bringing a Poison. That is a very, very heavy secondary Poison build. He's skipped out on slot 6 auxiliary upgrade, but beyond that, he is, and that's going to be a Lighthouse build too. He's not even running Concealment Expert. He's like, here I am, shoot me, ladies and gentlemen. Should be entertaining.
Yes, and extending duration of DCP and heal, all that stuff with this module thing. That's interesting too.
Indeed. ELSR's other battleship, a more traditionally built Ohio, headed over here to the A flank. In front of him, Apex's Des Moines, Hu Tao's Des Moines, Little Buster's Harugamo, Misakura's Daring, with the Dazzle again, Zath, and Quincy's Marceau. That's a range build Marceau of all things. On the other side of the map, a very token force headed to sea. That's Luger's gearing and Steven's daring. What is TSUKI bringing at the bottom end, Zath?
Yeah, Steven has a Brisbane, but yeah, I mean, which what you expect.
I called
to
it
see.
wrong. Whatever.
It happens.
Whatever.
No
Go
worries.
ahead.
To the south, TSUKI bringing Marceau of their own, reload build instead of range, and then we've got behind him a Harugumo and the Brisbane. Torpedo spec this time for that Brisbane.
Yep.
They've got a Preußen Schlagstuff. I think we saw them play Schlieffen or Preußen on this map before, but I can't remember off the top of my head. This is pretty much almost full secondary. It's interesting you invest so much in secondaries and don't take manual secondaries, Raptor. Huh.
Yeah, I was noticing that as well. We saw TSUKI play TSYMQ last weekend, but they played on Warriors Path and Sleeping Giants. We haven't seen them play this map.
Yeah, we're looking at that close-up of the school bus camo. Interesting.
Bright yellow.
Yes. We got Starry Party heading over towards the B side in the Schlieffen. That's a full set. Also, no manual secondaries.
Yeah, no manual.
Yep. We got Haruka's Des Moines going in the typical Des Moines spots. Munan's Ragnar with reload, fronted by your typical Harugumo and Des Moines, and that rounds out the lineup. Marseille
Look
and
at
St.
early
Vincent.
deployments here.
Just a reminder, Marseille and St. Vincent both banned in this game.
Indeed. Both teams going fairly heavy to A. ELSR has about a one-ship advantage on that flank. They're using the Daring Puff Smoke. Who is that? That's Misakura. That's Rin to get Hutao's Des Moines through this little gap right up here onto this very, very strong island position here along the edge of the B cap. The Marceau, that's Quincy, diving A. Marceau on the other flank. Sora diving C. Both teams ticking up a cap here early on.
Mm-hmm. Also, correction, I apologize. That was Kleber and St. Vincent band, not Marseille.
Yes, Kleber and St. Vincent. Well, with each team in control of the cap, we now have to at least have an interesting look at the B cap and how we think this is going to shake out. Quincy now caught out by, he's caught on the surface by the Ragnar, it looks like. Taking some damage here.
He is running range, which kind of works against him in some cases.
Yeah, that's why I'm surprised to see that, right? You see a lot of range Harugumo. In my experience, I'm not used to seeing range Marceau. I mean, I understand the thought process and the theory behind it, but I'm not used to seeing it. Schlottschiff's Poison kind of beaching himself in this gap.
Yeah, he wants to hit Rin for all he can.
Well, he got some damage in. Rin puts the smoke up to at least avoid some of the secondaries for a bit. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. The Ohio, who was that? That's Balchi's Ohio, just dunked him for about 30K right there.
He says hello with his plane up and everything.
He felt that.
I don't think...
Poison, starting this game on 105,000 HP. We're not even 5 minutes in, and he's down to 20.
Yeah, and fortunately, he gave himself an exit.
He did, but it's a very narrow window here.
His DCP is down. The fire will stick.
They haven't gotten one yet. They're still trying.
Yeah.
Daring shells, Des Moines shells, more Ohio shells falling through his deck.
And he's still detected, Raptor.
There's the fire. Well, I think I don't think he was he running concealment?
Concealment module, but no concealment expert.
Yep, not running concealment expert. He'd be locked up, I think, on 8952's Hydro anyway. Yeah, he would be, and there he goes. Wow. Just like that, TSUKI down a battleship here in game 3. The LSR maybe suffering from the same problem as 8952, having to get to cover. He's getting pretty beat up as well.
Yeah, for him though, there really isn't too much to worry about from cross shots, right? What are we getting excited about?
Well, Haruka playing a bit of a dangerous game there. He had reversed just far enough back for Bochi's Ohio to drop a salvo on him with that at long range. He didn't come up with anything, but it could have been good if he managed to land some of those shells.
Gotcha. Starry Party now coming through with that Schlieffen, realizing how to make something happen with that fantastic pushing battleship.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what he's gonna. You see, he's turning to starboard. I think he's gonna think he's going to hit this gap. His guns are looking to starboard, Zath. They really want this kill on the Poison.
They do.
That's what he's going for here.
I don't know that they can get it, even with Starry Party getting into this.
If they get it, I have to believe it's going to be on the back of the Schlieffen secondary suite, Zath.
Mm-hmm.
Poison's bow turret's now speaking.
But remember,
solid hit on Starry.
Remember, he doesn't have manual secondaries, so I mean, those gunners are just cross-eyed. I mean, look at the shells coming in; they're all over the place.
Yeah.
You know, I wonder if that's on purpose, Raptor.
I don't know. If I'm Starry Party, I am not excited about this fight, right? I mean, granted, he doesn't necessarily know the Poison's build the way we do, but I mean, still, you're a battle cruiser nominally. Starting at a health, I mean, you had a health advantage, but that health advantage is kind of largely evaporating. The Poison's next heal is 50 seconds away, so if they can put enough damage into him, they can bag him.
Starry Party's heal is active right now.
Yeah, I think they're going to get him, Zath. They moved up to get this kill, and they're going to get it. How often do you see two German battleships, the first things to go out of a game in competitive play? And there he goes. Wow.
Not very often. And follow-up, how often do you see secondary battleships having a secondary duel like that in competitive play?
That's well, you're not wrong about that. That is not normal. Now, we've missed some other action.
Yeah, look at A. Munan in trouble.
Yeah, I was going to say, A, Munan getting just absolutely, looks like he's still on fire back there. Yeah, he is. Munan's Ragnar having to retreat quick, beat feet to the south here. He's going to barely be able to put that fire out and limp to his next heal under 500 health.
Yeah, 159.
I think one fire tick might have taken him out, but he's got just enough HP to hold on.
Fortunately for him, he does have a heal because he's in a Ragnar.
Haruka's Des Moines getting cheeky, trying to cap B. Bocchi's Ohio moving up, trying to prevent this.
Quincy's in trouble too. Look at Sora pushing through with the Marceau.
Yeah, I think the best they can hope for here is to trade Marceaus. If you're Quincy anyway. Although he may win this fight. Sora's on a bunch of fires and he's going out there. Quincy actually going to come out ahead in that duel. That's a big kill for ELSR if they can keep Quincy on the board.
Yeah, in that particular engagement, kiting away is the stronger positioning, so he definitely had the advantage in that destroyer duel, despite having range to set a reload.
Bocchi taking a very aggressive line here towards B. I think he wants to try and punch out the Des Moines, but I mean, are you excited about getting into a close range duel with a Schlieffen if you're in Ohio? No, he's slowing down now.
Look at the Brisbane over at A. There he goes down. Suki's Brisbane flooded out.
Wow, he flooded him out.
Steven might still go down, though, in his Brisbane.
Yeah, they're going to get him. The Harugumo's just going to outshoot him. But the LSR trading very well on this flank, Zath. The flank that they were basically outnumbered at, picking up some impactful kills over here. Game's half over, 90-point lead for ELSR. You have to believe that it's still anybody's game, though, given the health pools and the relative positions. I mean, ELSR has a significant team health advantage. I got to give them that much at least.
Yes, absolutely. The question is, what can they do with that advantage? The Gearing has to go and find a way to challenge that Harugumo back at the C cap. Meanwhile, what? Why?
Gearing versus Harugumo? I don't see that fight working out for the Gearing all that well.
Well, what else are you gonna do with that Gearing that's all the way at Charlie 9?
I'm not saying you do nothing. I'm just saying I don't know that I don't go picking a fight for a Harugumo who has approximately the same health pool that I do. If I have a health lead, sure.
Well, fortunately for ELSR, they take down Chikishima's Des Moines.
Well, and CVN's Harugumo is still lit and is very low over here.
Yeah.
He's going out.
Yeah. So
it's now a 3-ship lead for ELSR.
At this point, no need for Luger to even worry about C-cap.
Yeah, exactly. If I'm Luger, I'm like, you know what? I need to stay in the game. I need to protect the points that are invested in my hull. He does land a torpedo on Amelia. Look, now maybe that gunfight is winnable, but it's probably still not one I'm going to go court and risk disaster at this stage.
Oh, absolutely right. He doesn't need it. Meanwhile, Starry Party moving up in his Schlieffen,
he's
getting
coming out.
protected. Here's the Ohio salvo. Oh, I
Yep,
mean,
nearly 20K there.
he was ready. Bocce was just ready for that maneuver.
Well, they had pulled Hu Tao's radar up a minute ago, and I think he kind of got the sense they were making this move. And now I don't think Starry Party's going to survive across this cap circle.
No, I was gonna say it seems interesting. He came out. They knew Bocce was spotted. They could see his turrets, so they knew he was looking in that direction. Yet he still went out anyway.
Yep. Starry now taking all the AP in the world from Quincy's Marceau way off. There's that Daring. That's Daring AP. Excuse me. He goes out.
Munan dies too.
That leaves the B cap wide open. Basically all over but the crying here for Tsuki. ELSR should claim game 3 and move on up the bracket, where they will play
Rain?
I believe. I'd have to go back and look. I had it open a minute ago. Yes, they'll play Rain.
Yep. Bit of a rematch from last weekend.
No, they played Shaft last weekend. We saw them playing Shaft in the very first match of the international bracket.
Right,
Or
but
did
also
they
did
play Rain? They probably played Rain eventually.
On this map.
Okay.
If I remember correctly.
Okay.
We saw a
didn't
lot of
cast that
games
game.
last weekend.
Yeah, we didn't cast that game, not ELSR versus Rain.
No, I believe I did a replay review of it.
Ah, that must be it. Okay, there we go.
All right, one ship left.
Well-
Solo Warrior time for Tsuki.
Yep, totally. Luger finally going to take this gunfight just to see if he can end things. Getting some good damage in here. Yep, I think he's going to do it. Amelia knows this is over. Not even bothering to pop the damage control. Yes, ELSR still in the tournament for NA. They're moving on.
Hashtag pray for NA.
Hashtag hope for NA.
Well, fantastic series. This was a joy to watch
fun.
and cast. I know we got to move on to the winners bracket finals, so let's toss it back to the studio and get ready.
Yep, absolutely. We'll see you guys again in a moment.